Hey, Don here. Well, I thought I was all done with my previous video, and then I remembered that I forgot to mention something. So I'm going to go back here and get on the desktop. And my preview's still playing, and I was wanting to wait for it to take so long to catch up. There it is. So if I don't check, then it may be broken. I'm wasting my time. Okay, this article here by Raymond.cc is the address of it there. .cc. That's not one you see too often. I don't know. You know, they're originally web extensions, I guess you'd say. Dot so-and-so's there. Attributed to, well, first it was .com. That was everywhere. And then they started selling them to different countries, and so, but it's not ever been stuck with, so just because it says .ru, that's usually in Russia, but that doesn't always mean that. But I can't think of where CC might have been sold. But anyway, this one here about the online multi-engine virus scanners, they're really useful tools. And my previous video, I'll try to put them like part 1, part 2. It goes into the details of what I found, but I had found this at some point, and I saw the link today, and I went back to it because I couldn't remember the names of them, of these scanners, and I wanted to use one. Virus Total, I think, is my favorite, and it also has the browser add-on, which I have in my browser here, my Firefox. But I was going down through them and going to try some out, and I got to... and by the way, this article is at least 10 years old because there's comments on here that are 10 years ago. But it's still, most of these are still around. But when things get old, Jotty is one that I use a lot, and I like that. When things get old, pages get old, sometimes they get hijacked, taken over, or the person doesn't keep the domain and it goes to someone else and they do something very odd with it, Usually it's trying to sell stuff or something. But not this particular domain I'm talking about, but this one here. This is one of the scanners in the article. CHK for me, check for me. Now, the first clue, it took me a while to figure it out, but the first clue that something, well, not the first clue. My first clue is I went to this, but I don't know. Okay, here's the thing. This number 5, no virus stinks. No virus stinks, right? Okay, if you click, and when you hover over, first thing you used to be able to always, you can still do it on most links, or I don't know about most links, but many links down at the bottom left, it shows you where it's going to go, or at least where it shows. Now that can be hidden, and there's things called obfuscated links and redirects and everything else under the sun, and redirects is what I'm going to get into, but this... if you click on this one, it doesn't go with click for me. What this one down here is supposed to go, it says click for me, right? Or check for me. I always call it click for me. So I'm going to hold down control so it'll open up in a new, I need to close that. It'll open up. Now he has it set up to go through Web for Trust, Web of Trust to check the link. See, it says check for me. That's what it actually scanned. And it tells you all the sites. Well, actually it's... yeah, that's those are virus scanners. Okay, so I think it says Web of Trust up there. I was skimming, Web of Trust is for reputation and reviews. Okay, Virus Total. That's the one I like. So he has it going through a Virus Total scan instead of just straight to the page, which is really kind of a smart thing. You don't see, I never see that. No, it says 1 in 67. Thinks there's something wrong with it, but it's not red, so I don't know which one it is. Clean. It must be unrated site, that one there, Sophos. No, usually that doesn't. Yeah, see, there's 2 more. Oh, malware site. ESET says it's a malware site. I did not notice that before. Okay, now there could be a reason, especially if this is an updated scan. Let's see, yeah. 04/10/18. So it just scanned it today. It didn't normally Virus Total, if it's been scanned before, will say it's already been scanned. Do you want to see the original, the last results? Well, lots of times it's last year or something. Well, that was today, and if it was nothing else, it was me, because I've been doing this several times during my. Well, first I was just trying to figure out what was going on, because I didn't realize that the links didn't go where they said they went, and then you can't just click on that and go there. You have to. Well, it actually highlighted itself for me when I double clicked on it. I'm not going to do it because of what it does. Now, if you click on that, I can right click and say open a new tab, which is what I did twice. Both times, the first time it just went straight to Amazon.com. Well, if you know that, now here's the thing I didn't mention. That particular thing, you see, we're off of his site now. So I was saying his site, and because of his links being messed up, either he messed up from the beginning and never noticed it for 10 years or more, that his links are wrong, or his site has been hijacked, hacked and messed up. And that's what I was kind of saying, but I forgot to say that. Now, this is just this is not a link, it's the actual URL to checkforme.com. Now, if you, like for instance, you can say search in Google. I don't really mind doing that. Say search for Google. Well, that does give you the ability to use VirusTotal. Okay, check for me. Oh, that's a different one. Oh, I just realized. Checkforme.com. Well, that's not it. That's not it. You know what? I don't think it's there anymore. Look at there. If you search for an actual web address and you don't find it in the top, well, now one of my own very website, I get beat out by other people. And I won't go into all that, but if I search for my DonsSongs.com, it doesn't come up #1 anymore. It used to. There it is down there. Well, that's still not it. That's it. Check for me, but that's a different .org something. Check for me. Let's see what happens if I take off the whole, that whole thing. Take off everything but that. Sometimes you get a better result doing that. Nope. Doesn't make any difference. Okay, I had not noticed that. So I'm going to say that archive.is checkforme.com. I don't think the site's there anymore. So it's either just flat not there, or it's at any rate this it doesn't make any sense that Amazon would buy this and redirect it to Amazon.com. So it's got to be some strange malicious thing. Somebody and here's what my thinking is, and that's why I don't want to go there again. If you open this, like if you just copy and paste it or highlight it and then say open a new tab or whatever, it goes to Amazon.com. Now, why would they do that? Well, if you just don't really think much about it, and perhaps it's tied, it goes through a redirect. Let me show you the redirect it goes through. It goes through a redirect, and it hung up on its way for redirecting for quite a while, like about a minute. And I got this IP that it was sitting on for a while, and I scanned it. Well, it shows to be clean, but that just because they show to be clean doesn't mean there may be, for instance, in this article, so many, very often they will encrypt them, and they can't be read by regular virus scanners, or even these. These are regular virus scanners. Every one of them, They can't. The file can't be detected. The malware can't be detected, even if it's not new, brand new. Like today's malware, it can't be detected if it's encrypted. That's what he was saying, and I hadn't thought about that lately. I use Linux. I don't have to worry about this all the time. But today I was wanting to scan a couple files, and that I had, and so. This is part of the redirection. I don't know how many redirections there is in there, but that's part of it right there. And it's just, well, Google uses some crazy long stuff like that too, but it always says Google in it. I went through, and my previous video, you can see where I went through details on trying to figure it out, and exactly where all it's going. There's probably, I've seen other sites over the years that are better at pretty good at checking all that out, but I didn't go into. I don't remember where they're at in my bookmarks and everything. But anyway, what concerns me and why I made a video is if someone has got that this right here, this checkforme.com going through, and of course this is a good article on virus scanning and all that, but so what better, that's a good, somebody like this is going to be a high target for hackers and people that don't want them to be helping people, right? So evidently that, I'm thinking it must have happened. Now I'm thinking that maybe they got his site, and they probably did more than just jumble up his links, and that could have been there, always been wrong like that, but it'd be surprising, that they'd stay that way that long, because down there at the bottom in his comments, they go back as 10 years ago. One of the newest comment is 2 years ago. So that's been up for a while. And a lot of times it's older pages I've noticed that end up getting hijacked. Because some people haven't been, looking at them, maintaining them, checking on them or anything. So during this redirect, they can plant Trojans, keyloggers. That's what he was talking about. Say they planted a keylogger in your machine while you're going through there, and of course most of the time it's Windows that gets hit, but sometimes I run Linux, so I wasn't quite as worried about it. I still ended up just scanning my machine twice with a rootkit checker and with ClamAV antivirus that will run on on Linux, and I was clean. Hopefully, there's not still something there that got missed, but so the keylogger could watch what you're doing when you go, like if you just, it doesn't make a lot of sense that it would go to Amazon. I mean, not too many people would say, oh, this link took me to an odd spot, Amazon.com. Oh, well, I think I'll go ahead and shop while I'm here, and actually, if you type in your password is where I'm concerned. If you type in a password there, or maybe it goes to more than one place, it just took me there, and if you type in your password and there's a keylogger, then they've got your password and your ID, your login ID and your password. Of course, I didn't do that. Actually, mine is stored, encrypted in my system here, so they shouldn't have been able to get it anyway. But I got off the page, and of course, it could be that it wasn't. Well, it looks like Amazon. I'm pretty sure it was, because it showed my username and where I live on there, or just instantly, And so it would have had to do some real hard work, and it'd have to be an awfully fast, like script or whatever, scanning, it would have to be a really fast malware to have gotten all that information that normally comes up on Amazon when I go there. Would have had to have been awfully fast, unless it was did just take you to Amazon.com, and that's what I saw, because, I automatically get logged in. Now, but, if you had to type in if they had planted a keylogger in my browser or in my system somehow, or even more stuff than that, then, and I did log in by hand, then they would have got me. And so that worried me, so I used a rootkit hunter and Linux. There's a few apps. This is a app finder. So I used check rootkit, CHK rootkit. I ran that, came up clean. I ran it as root too, so that I would be able to, scan everything on my system. And of course, I'm still kind of worked up about it, and then I used ClamAV, and things came up clean. But actually typing in my root password there, if my whole system was compromised, I would have gave them that, So you can just think of so many bad things could happen. And like I said, see, Linux, I'm running Fedora Linux, and SE Linux, Security Linux. It comes with all Fedora systems, installed when you install the system. Now, if something like that was going on, there's just almost 99.9%, maybe more, 99.9% chance that it's going to pop off and say something's trying to do something. And not only that, but it'll stop it. And So Fedora, that's one thing I really like about Fedora, is that it has a built-in security system. And it doesn't, it stops anything that seems out of the ordinary, you know. And it used to, years ago, it was a pain because it stopped too much stuff, but now it hardly ever bothers me, you know, with stopping things that are normal. And so I just want to make sure I've clarified what I didn't say it right. You know, I forgot to go on and say, now, this right here is not part of his site. So this has been compromised for sure. And I mean, I just saw something I didn't think earlier. I did a search on Google, you know, I did that, but I didn't pay a lot of attention to the results. I just thought, I don't want to click on those links and go there because I don't feel good about this site. You know, I'm leery of it because I think it's been hijacked. I didn't notice that there weren't even any links to this site. It's probably, now that I saw that, well, I'm going to do it again. Now that I saw that it's not even showing up, it's probably not even there anymore. But the malware writers or the hijackers, they know that they hijack this URL. Just because the URL is no good now doesn't mean they can't hijack that URL. And when you try to go to that URL, it's going to go somewhere else. So, you know, go to a URL that's no longer real. I mean, they could do it in a lot of different ways. They could do it in a sort of a legitimate way. They could do it in a legitimate way, but use it for bad things. There's URL forwarding services where you can say, well, you know what? I'll explain that. Okay. I know. There's my website. Okay. Now, this is my music portion of my website. That's my domain, right? Okay. And no matter where you go on this site, you're going to see just that. You're not going to see the actual address. Whoops. Now, let's see if I go. I'm going to go to one of my links just to go. Yeah, I'll go here. Go to my. Okay, you still. Oh, look at that. Now, where did I go? I didn't. Oh, dang. When it doesn't go back like normal. It can be aggravating. Okay, I went to bishopco.com home, but it shows it as donsongs.com. That's because I have it. It's forwarded to through a URL forwarding service, and I have it masked. It's called masked. And I did that on that domain for several reasons. I can't even remember them all right now. But let me show you where it really goes. Now, this is, of course, I'm not doing anything nefarious. I'm just sharing my music and my website it's on my own server. Okay, that's the wrong one. Bishopco.com. That was mine too, but this is where I wanted to hope it's working okay. Sometimes they just take a while to go there. Well, it shouldn't, but let me close it and see. Try it again. Maybe that was spelled wrong. No. Sometimes I spell it wrong, you know, when I'm doing it. There we go. I don't know why it did that, but it seems fine. Now it came in really quick. This is my main website, but it goes to bishopco.us.2. Now, this is a free service, and the reason I use that is because my IP address is constantly changing with my ISP. So my websites would be wrong every time that changed. They wouldn't go where they're supposed to go. Well, this is it automatically forwards my domain names to this address, and I go ahead. I could you know, not show this, but it, like you just saw, it can be kind of aggravating. So for all my other pages, now if I click on one of these links, except for, well, if I go to DonsSongs, now it shows you where it really is. Bishopco.us.2, Dweeb98, index HTML. So I'm not trying to hide anything. I just think the main reason I did that on donsongs.com, I was hoping it would bring my my search results up. I used to be the top 3 when you search for DonsSongs.com. Well, now it's number 1 again. Look at that. You should get, he should be number 1. And then if there's any more pages on there, they should be the next few pages. Now, I'm always putting my link to Don's. Well, that's my website I have listed on my YouTube, so that's me. That's my song, my one song that I've got on there. It's just a slideshow video. I intended when I originally started up my YouTube channel years ago to make a bunch of music videos and put them on there, but I wanted them to be perfect. Well, I hadn't got them done at all. Is what's happened. Now that's not me. That is me. I can tell that quickly because I put my names of my album on there and stuff. So oh, that's me too. Now that's changed in the last few weeks. I think Google did some changes because I was, you'll see in a minute who I was getting. And when I search for my own, now I'll show you what happens if I take off the .com probably here in a second. And guess I'm getting sidetracked, but that looks like that's the other guy, the guy in India that's a famous singer named Don whatever in India. I started doing all this before he got big on the internet. Over the years, well, part of it I finally figured out. Part of the big problem I was having. Now that's not me. DonsSongs.org. Somewhere I saw archive.org. That would be me. If it says Don Songs and Living Beings, somewhere I saw it a minute ago. But anyway, guess it was somewhere else. But if I just search for, but what I'm getting into is I'm really familiar with URL forwarding and redirects. I used to use them some, but they got bad marks in search engines. Now look what happens if I just search. Now if you used to, back years ago, if you search for Don Songs, one word like that, all this would be me. Now it's all this guy, whoever he is. And I'm sure he's world famous. I mean, I don't ever see him. I live in America, and I don't ever see anything about him here. But on the internet, you can't get around him if you search anything to do with songs and Dawn. Bollywood thriller. Oh, he does acting too. I guess he's doing more acting now because I remember I saw one time on YouTube a movie he was in. I mean, he's been around. He's older than me. Yeah, he's older than me. Well, maybe he's not. I don't know. Of course, you can't tell with Hollywood and Bollywood people. They may look, 25 years younger than they are. But I saw a movie. I watched a few minutes of it once. An old 70s movie with him in it. And because he was grown up and I was just I was 18 in 1975. So, he's older than me, at least 10 years older than me. Gotta be. Okay, so anyway, hey, look at there. I've never seen that before. There's some of his songs. So, redirects and redirection is not always a bad thing. It's a very useful thing, but when something's redirected to something completely different, and usually when this happens, it's to a malicious URL. When I took a look at that and I said, well, first when I saw Amazon.com, I was like, what the heck? Oh crap. And I started to just close it real quick. Like that matters. You think you can close it before you get infected, but you couldn't. It's just it's milliseconds before it's all done in milliseconds. And probably, I don't know how quick they can do it. It can do it. But just imagine how quick text message goes through, or, a chat, IM chat, or an email. Well, that's how fast you can get infected, quicker than that, because it's not going anywhere. Once you hit it, Well, I mean, maybe the servers around the world from you, but anyway, it's so fast. You're not going to outclick it. You're not going to unclick it quick enough. So, but anyway, it certainly had all the information and looked just like it would. I mean, if it was a fake Amazon site, which is always a possibility, it looked just like. When I go to Amazon, and like I said, it had my name and all that on it. like I was logged in. But I didn't do anything on there. I closed it. But the first time it went there instantly. The next time it stopped on its way at this link. Right, this link was in the browser for, like I said, almost. I just left it there. I wanted to, because I was trying to take screenshots of it all, and I wanted to. Well, I thought, wait a minute, this is a perfect chance to get part of this redirect, you know. So, yeah, it's not just this site that may have some problems. It may be that the only problem this actual site has is that he originally got his links mixed up. You know, they don't go where that he just did that by accident and never fixed it, which is, like I say, after 10 years, I wouldn't think he would have left it like that. So I would think maybe he has been hit. And if you went around his site, you might find more things. If you found more things that were off like that, then yeah, he's been hit. But for sure, that play. Well, now I just realized the checkforme.com, which was listed here. I'd never remember hearing of it before. Listed here as so anyway. Now I'd be scared of these links, especially if I was on a Windows machine. I'd be scared of them for sure. But this one definitely is this little. It's not, the site's not there anymore. I see that now. So and it wasn't even completely free anyway. I mean, Virus Total and Jotty Malware Scan are fantastic, and there's about 3 or 4 others I've used that I can't remember. That's why I was looking around for something to get me back to find out where they're at. They're, freeware, free to use and no limited functionality, or you pay to get more and all that stuff. So, yeah, I just wanted to make that really clear that I do realize that this is not part of his site, and that this is what's really for sure been redirected. His links, I don't know. Just the only one those two there. I know those two are wrong. Because I clicked on both of them. Let's see, I have to look at it again. I keep getting off of it and then want to go back. This one is the one that actually goes to check for me, and this one that says it goes to check for me goes to Serenity Scanner right below it. So you can see how easy that could be to get off when you're building your page. So they're right close to each other like that. So it could be just a typical typo type of mistake, or it could be that and many other things have been changed on that side, this side here. So anyway, this Don, I'm going to get off of go now, and I'm going to get back to work on my ASRock system and checking in about it. I won't go into that in this video, but anyway, all right. I'm going to come back here in a while with that. Go back to another stream on that. Okay.